Alright guys, I'm gonna do a quick video, kind of like a review. It's on Training Dogs, a manual written by Conrad Most. This is an old book, as you can tell. This is an awesome book. I know it's maybe a little bit outdated for sure. It doesn't talk about the quadrants, it doesn't talk about schedules of reinforcement, marker training, none of that. But it does have some really solid principles. If you read it, of course, you're not gonna follow it step by step by the book, but it is a good reference point. If you have ever read the William Keeler books, it kind of has a similar tone to it. I wouldn't say it's like those books. This doesn't talk about burying the dog's nose in in a hole that they dug or anything like that. But again, it doesn't talk about marker training, operant conditioning, none of that stuff. But it's an awesome book. I've read it 2 times. I don't really like to read, but I love to learn, and so reading is a venue. It's a way to learn things, obviously. All right, so just give you a couple of quotes that I really like here. Good training needs a kind heart as well as a cool, well-informed head for the proper direction of the indispensable compulsion. So compulsion meaning correction, stuff like that. What is the actual objective of training? It is that the dog shall only do what we find convenient or useful and refrain from doing what is inconvenient. Obviously, if you pick it apart and you go, oh my gosh, that's terrible, I can see your point. But again, if you look at this book and appreciate it for where it is and realize that this book was way ahead of its time, it's an awesome book. One other one I really like here. If our approach to training is based on moral ideas regarding punishment, reward, obedience, duty, etc., we're bound to handle the dog in the wrong way. And that is such an amazing quote for being a book of that age, of that time. Now, throughout the book, there are a bunch of things that I highlighted. Something I like to do is highlight my books. It does talk about force fetch. It does talk about choke chains. There's another one. Dog's temperament must be right. Timid animals, for instance, are always suspicious and therefore hostile and prone to bite. This is an awesome book. Again, it's quite a read. It's not that much, but it's definitely quite a bit to read. I don't like to read, and this is still a book that I love to read. I read it twice. For somebody who doesn't like to read, that's pretty good. That means this dog really captivated me. And if you are into dog training, if you're into dogs, reading a classic like this is really, really useful.